Welcome to your favorite podcast, Titans Daily, Bleacher Report. We are in the building. Jacques,
Halt.
Jacques,
Halt.
what's up, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is your way. As the Tennessee Titans, with the victory over the Atlanta Falcons, the game is about to end now. 23-20, Tennessee Titans in the preseason there in Atlanta. Jacques, hey, man, we saw the game. We have a lot to discuss, bro.
Yes, sir. We do. We definitely gonna hop into it, man. Shout out to the Daily family. Shout out to everybody that's supporting and watching the show, man. And Hawk, let's just hop right into it and talk about this game, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So the Tennessee Titans going down to Atlanta after losing to Tampa Bay last week with the win today against the Atlanta Falcons there in Georgia. So, Jacques, in looking at the game and everything, and we're going to put the poll question out there as well. What's your thoughts, man, just on the first team offense, Cam Ward, just in general, man? What are your thoughts from this game and how everything went today with the Tennessee Titans?
So my thoughts, I'll give you some positives and negatives in them overall. If it feels good, mid or whatnot. So I just want to start with the negatives is the negative plays, right? There was a penalty that took them back. The missed pass the missed catch by Van Jefferson. Ball placement was there. Everything was set to go. Boom, missed it. And I think that was 3rd and 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 3rd and 2 when that happened. So you missed the opportunity there. Didn't execute in it, and I know Cam wanted to go out there for a third series just to get his feet wet to see if he can get some continuity with his receivers, but he tried. Now, Elic, he does have continuity with him. The thing is, I think they need a little bit more time and a little bit more reps to get that comfortability to where they can get on Calvin Ridley's same page. But I think that's what concerned me a little bit is it concerns me, right? Because when we get into regular season, is Calvin's going to be getting double team, triple team, quadruple team, right? Now I don't even know that's a thing, but you need to find another target. And I think, and we'll get on the other rookies here in a few, but somebody needs to emerge as that second receiver. We think I know it's not Van Jefferson, but we got Van Jefferson. We signed Van Jefferson, and you thinking Van Jefferson is out there. Tyler Lockett didn't dress out. So the positive is the O-line block. O-line look good, man. The O-line continues to block. It continues to trend up, okay? And you know I'm a consistency guy, so they keep showing good consistency. Another positive, I know Cam's stat sheet doesn't reflect a good day, but the things that I wanted to see, he's continuing to do, right? He still has a lot to work on, but ball placement, keeping his eyes down the field, going through his progressions. And I'm going to let you talk about the other thing, but that's the positive. Now, do I overall grade? I will give them, man, I'm going to give it a mid performance for now. And the reason why I'm giving it a mid, they didn't score any points. They didn't get in the red zone. It could have been a lot better. It could have been the execution could have been a lot better. But again, this is what preseason is for. This is what practice is for. So I'm okay with that for now because I'm like, hey, we're just getting their feet wet and we're going. But I'm gonna go with mid for now, right? For now. But we'll see. We'll see. What about you, Hawk?
Okay, so for me, man, the first team offense, Cam Ward, the entire offense, as well too. So this is what I looked at, man. Yes, a big drop by Van Jefferson. Some people that were saying that was would have been a hard catch, but in the NFL, you're a receiver, you got to make that play. You have to make that play. It actually was a very good throw by Cam Ward to beat 3 defenders that was on that side, and giving them the opportunity. And those things. So, I wish the play could have went that way. That we probably would have scored in that situation, right? I give a lot of kudos to the offensive line. Have we seen the offensive line keep our quarterback as clean as much as been like what we've seen so far over the last 2 preseason games, man? No. I mean, the offensive line is performing out of this world right now. Right. And so I'm very excited to see that, right now, as far as them blocking and everything, to give Cam Ward an opportunity to throw the ball. I'm very impressed on how Cam Ward looks as a rookie. We got to keep that in mind. He is a rookie, and he looks very comfortable out onto the field. And he did make some good throws. He's very comfortable, even with Elic Ayomanor. I think there's 3 players that Cam Ward is comfortable with: Calvin Ridley, Elic Ayomanor, and Gunnar Helm. I think when I've seen them practicing and those things, even today with Elic, he's very comfortable with those guys. So looking at it, as far as Cam Ward, as far as his progressions, yes, he likes to get the ball down the field. I would like to see Cam at times look in the intermediate as well, to see there was a few plays where there was some receivers open in the middle and he was looking to go deep. And, he got the one play to Elic, but even the play to Van Jefferson, though Van Jefferson should have had the catch. Gunnar Helm was open. It was a 3rd and 2, get the first down. But, he'll learn that as a rookie over time. He'll continue to watch tape and those things. And he has to learn to trust a lot of other players on his team. So to your point, I think it was mid. I think we can definitely do better. Some positive, we run the ball pretty well. And our players need to make plays as well like that. So very, very excited about the offensive line. Overall, I think we could have done better. But we'll learn over time. Y'all listen, I feel like, again, the Titans don't have a lot of options on offense. So we got to find ways to make that happen, whether it be on certain crossing routes and those things to get players open. So I'm going to grade it a mid as well, Jacques. I feel you that. Yep.
And again, I'll say this. It's no knock on anything that Cam did, because again, this is what they're doing. They're getting the kinks out. And then 2, starters ain't out there. So that's another thing. And I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to in a few. So Hawk, let's give me a player. Give me a player. Who's your player of the game? We'll just say it like that. Who's your player of the game?
The player of the game for me, man, I'm actually going to go on the defensive side of the ball, and that's Cedric Gray. Cedric Gray was all over the field. Right now he's trying to compete with James Williams for a starting spot. And I think it doesn't really matter. Both of the players are going to play. So it's just a matter of being interchangeable. But I think Cedric Gray made that step today. Cedric Gray is a downhill linebacker. He popped, coming up the field, plugging holes. He had 7 tackles out there today, had a half a sack, had an interception. I mean, what more can you ask for? He had a sack. I mean, this guy was all over the field. Cedric Gray played great, and he played just like he did in North Carolina, making a lot of tackles, making a lot of plays. Cedric Gray did an incredible job today on defense, and we need that. We really need that. As to play that second linebacker. And I like James Williams, how he played today too. But I think Cedric Gray separated himself today. Now, the coach gave him the opportunity to start today. James Williams was the starter the previous week. Next week, they'll probably start them both and then just let them play it out to see who's going to be that second inside linebacker. So I'm going Cedric Gray for this game, player of the game for me. What about you, Jacques?
Man, so I'm going to go on the offensive side of the ball because, again, I'll let you have the defensive side and Said showed out. But I'm going to give it to Gunnar Helm, the rookie, man. And I think he was one of the leading receivers today, and he caught a touchdown, an incredible touchdown catch from your tight end, technically number 3, right? But he's technically tight end 2 on the depth chart. But what he's continuing to do is he's continuing to string a good series together each time. Now, this is what I was going to talk about earlier. I would like to see him run with the ones. Okay, I know Chig is out there running with the ones, but I feel like the way Gunnar Helm is playing, he's the hot hand right now. Give him an opportunity with your number 1 quarterback, because one thing, if you know about Cam loves tight ends, right? He loved them at Miami, and he loves that seam play. The same play that Brandon Allen threw to him, that touchdown is the same thing Cam loves to throw. So I would like to see Brian Callahan get into the habit when he's moving his chess pieces on the board. Add Gunnar Helm to there, give Chig a break, right? I think I've seen enough of Chig. I know what Chig can do. He's trying to get continuity with Cam, but give Gunnar Helm an opportunity. So I'm going from the offensive perspective. I'm going Gunnar Helm. I like what I've seen today, man. And don't be surprised, man. I think you've even iterated this too, Hawk, is don't be surprised if he's tight end 1 by week 2 or 3, just to be honest with you, if he can stay healthy. And I'm hoping he hasn't had any health concerns, but I'm just saying, just stay healthy. I'm loving what I'm seeing. And that speaks volumes from what Buganzi and Chad Brinker were able to do with that particular draft pick. So to me, on the offensive side, is Gunnar, man. Shout out to Gunnar, dude.
Yeah. It's crazy that they picked Gunnar Helm, DK, and Elic Ayomanor in the 4th round. That's incredible. That's incredible. So, okay. So watching this game as well, there's a lot of holes, a lot of concerns for sure. As we continue to build and those things as the season goes along. What would you say from what you saw today? What is your biggest concern for the Tennessee Titans coming from this game?
Okay, so there's a couple of concerns that I have. The first concern is backup quarterback. Now I know after a while they settled down, right? They were able to get the ball moving and whatnot, but we have a backup quarterback problem. And if Cam goes down, we're really screwed. We'll be getting the number one pick again. Okay, and then I'm gonna go twofold here. Our field goal kicker, he missed a field goal. He missed an extra point, and that could cost us games. No, that will cost us games in the future if that happens. And we didn't have this issue last year. Well, we were okay last year, but to get the kinks out early in preseason, that's a problem. And so we haven't been put in any situations where we've had to kick an extra, well, not extra points, but like a field goal on the 30-yard line, 40 yards. So I would like to see that in our next preseason game. If Brian Callahan can get a series where he can get down in the red zone and he can kick a field goal, that's what I'm asking, because I want to see if this young man can kick a 50-yarder, right? A 52-yarder, a 53-yarder. And I know if you don't understand it, it's boring, yes, but from an evaluation standpoint, we need to see that. We need to see if he can do that, because it might be some games. I know it's going to be some games where it comes down to the wire and we need a field goal. And if you can't kick a 52, 53-yarder, then we're back in the drawing board trying to find another field goal kicker. Those are my two concerns: is backup quarterback and the field goal kicker, man. We got to find that fast, man. What about you?
Yeah. So I do think as well, I'd say my answer is definitely backup quarterback, but I'm going to actually say too, man, is wide receiver depth. I think, man, I think, Tyler Lockett, when he's, back onto the field, he'll start the season at wide receiver too. He'll be our inside receiver. But I think the wide receiver position is wide open. I mean, I know Van Jefferson had a big drop today in those things. And, I wasn't just completely just sold on him anyway. You know what I mean? On the entire group. Like, it's like, I think it's still wide open. And you got players like Elic Ayomanor, the rookie, where, saying I think he's going to have opportunities to play a lot. I mean, I called the radio station just the other day, and I said I think Elic Ayomanor, when the season's over, will be wide receiver number 2, and I'm going to stick to that. And I think Cam Ward trusts Elic, and I think that's going to be a big part of it. But right now, besides Calvin Ridley, we have just a bunch of guys. Like, we don't have receivers that'll scare you. So whether it be DK, Ayomanor, any of our young guys who can step up to be the number 2 receiver, even just starting out at number 3 and moving their way up. I still think, I would like to bring another receiver in if we can, but we have a lot of guys, but nobody scares me. Nobody. You got Jaquan Jackson, you got Bryce Oliver. I think Bryce Oliver, he'll be on the team for sure. But he doesn't scare me. You got Restrepo, you got Kinsey. You have a lot of receivers. But I want to see who's going to be the guys going to step up to be wide receiver 4, 3 to 2. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say wide receiver depth for me.
Okay.
Yep.
What group performed the best in your thoughts?
I think the group that performed the best today is still the offensive line, man. I'm going to give the offensive line a lot of props. I think, man, they have really done an incredible job in the preseason. I mean, how many times has it been where we've been like, man, our offensive line is just terrible? And they have been. It's been bad. But you have guys out there. You got Dan Moore. I'm glad he didn't get hurt. Like, he got rolled upon. I'm like, man, whew. But Dan Moore is doing what he's supposed to do out there. You got Peter Skoronski, who might be our best offensive lineman overall. You got Corey Levin out there, though Cushenberry's hurt. Corey Levin's been holding it strong there at center. Our offensive line has allowed Cam Ward to throw the football and has allowed us to run the ball. Even our backup offensive line, our running backs, we had a bunch of running backs today. All of them ran pretty well today. So I just think right now, just overall, we're good at offensive line. I'm very, very proud of our offensive line. What about you? What group you feel performed the best?
I'm going to go to the defense. Shout out to the O-line. I've talked about that on my short. But I'm going to the linebackers. I feel like the linebackers performed very well. James Williams, Cedric Gray, Cody Barton. Hell, you even had unknown linebackers in there getting their nose dirty. I think that group really concerns me going into the season. And I was very curious to see how they were going to perform going into training camp and preseason. And even in training camp, they've been making plays, and it's bleeding over into the preseason. You know my philosophy, man. A lot of people don't put a lot of stock in preseason, but I put some stock in it because whatever happens in preseason bleeds over into the regular season, right? And so when I'm looking at this from a linebacker perspective, the way that they are performing, specifically, I'll go to Cedric Gray. Cedric Gray, man, he showed out today, and you can tell he's starting to come on. He's starting to get comfortable. Again, he's still having a lot to learn. We'll see if he can continue this consistency next week. But at the same time, he's doing it. And I know him and James are fighting for that spot, but at the same time, I feel like they both will be on the field anyway, right? And what James Williams has been able to do as well. He's like a crash dummy, man, and he's so tall, so you can definitely use him in pass. But what Sid was able to do today, man, he was out there like a madman, and I'm happy for it because that's what we drafted him for, right? Like you said, he looked like what he looked like in North Carolina. So if he can stay healthy, let's just say that they can stay healthy. This group is going to be one of our stronger groups in this defense. Especially, I'm curious to see when T Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons gets in the lineup. Arden Key was playing pretty solid too. Like the defense, man, was playing. They were playing with purpose. I'm glad they woke up. I am. But they were playing with some type of tenacity tonight. So shout out to the defense and just as a whole.
For sure, man. For sure. All right, good deal. Okay. Well, listen, y'all. We want to say, hey, appreciate y'all listening in. Right now, we're gonna open up the live chat right now for our live chop up, man. We got a few comments and questions out there. Hey, whatever questions y'all throw out there, we get to see it, man. We'll post it up. And we'll get to discussing for sure.
So I know the Van Jefferson topic is a heavy topic on X, and even is it Skim Maskin? He says that he Restrepo over Jefferson, and this is where I get to, man. Our backup quarterbacks are so not good to the point where it's hard to evaluate. And shout out to what they were able to do just period. So Restrepo, I think he had 2 catches, two good solid catches. He has to get into the lineup a little bit more. Like next week, man, I'm telling you, I want to see. There's a couple of lineups that I want to see with Cam. Is DK, Elic, Restrepo, Gunnerham, Prochet. I want to see those 5 receivers in the rotation early. And because Van Jefferson, he's not doing it, man. And I know this is the second week, and I know he had a pass from Cam last week that he dropped. Okay. And this one where it's unreachable, but at the same time, I'm like, Van, what are we doing, bro? So I just wanted to bring that conversation to the fore. I mean, how you feel about Van, man?
Well, Van he's a veteran, and I think that will help him at least to make the team. He's definitely, of course, not the long term. We brought him in because we needed receiver help, and and I think he's had his struggles so far in the preseason. So I think, man, Van will have an opportunity. They had him playing punt block today at the end of the game, so it's kind of crazy. But I think that he will have to, he'll have to step up. It's not a guarantee that he makes this team. It's not a guarantee, and because you have a lot of young receivers that are. We have a lot of receivers in the room. So it's not a guarantee that he makes the team. So it's really on him to have a really good week and those things. Van Jefferson is an NFL receiver, good NFL receiver, but he's had his struggles and he's going to have to step it up. He's a veteran. He's got to be. The Titans drafted 2 receivers for a reason because our receiver room is not good. So, we drafted 2. So Elic, DK, and those guys, they're really going to push for him to get that spot. So, so Restrepo and those guys, everyone has an opportunity. At least, quarterback situation.
I think we lost Hawk.
I do think Van Jefferson's job is in jeopardy. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm gonna tell you something else, Hawk, that I liked what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing is us, the offense, pushing the ball downfield.
Facts.
Now, I know this is trivial. This might be people like, "What, Jock? What are you talking about?" Our offense hasn't been this efficient and has not pushed the ball downfield from a passing perspective in a long time. Okay. Even when we had AJ Brown and Derrick Henry, that offense was more tailored around Derrick Henry, right? And AJ was your strike guy. He can strike just like that. You can go take a slant and take it for 50, 60 yards. But I haven't seen an offense like this really ever, besides Steve McNair, maybe because they can push the ball downfield. But what I mean by pushing the ball downfield is Cam, like you've said this, Cam looks for the big play, right? He looks for the the home run every time. And we're not used to that in Tennessee. So it looks kind of crazy. Like, man, why is he taking the home run shot every time? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm excited for it because we haven't seen it. And that's how a lot of these high-powered offensive teams like Buffalo, like the Bengals, like who else, Hawk? The Chiefs, they tend to push the ball downfield in large chunks. They can take a home run. You never know when they're going to get a 30 or 40-yard bomb, and then all of a sudden, boom, they in the red zone like that. And so I think that I got to give credit where credit is due. That's Brian Callahan, right? I know we criticized his offensive play calling last year, but I will give him credit what I've seen so far in the preseason. There's still a lot of work to do. But Hawk, what is your thoughts on our offense looking different? Do you think, let me ask you, do you think it looks different? One, and two, are you excited for what you're seeing so far?
Yeah, the offense is different because we got, we have he's a young quarterback, of course, but he's a good quarterback, and I think in time he can be great. We have a quarterback that can get the ball out. He got a laser. He's confident. He's comfortable. The offensive line is blocking. So a multitude of factors on that. So I think I'm excited because we have a quarterback. So the offense, we need other players. We need the younger players that we have now will have to continue to get better. I think our offense still has a long way to go. I'm not excited to the point to know like our offense is about to be good, great, or whatever. I think Cam will.
Let me rephrase that. Let me reframe that question. Minus what you just said, does it look different with Cam in the fold?
Yeah, right. Because of our quarterback. Yes.
Okay.
And our offensive line. I think it's a culmination of over the last several years, that's been our struggle, the O-line and quarterback play. Mm-hmm. So yes, absolutely. When Cam is out there on the field, like it's completely different. We hadn't been used to that in a long time, to have a quarterback that you have confidence in and throwing the ball down the field. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I do. So yeah, I am in that regard. Yes. I'm excited that we do have a young line and a quarterback, and hopefully they'll continue to build and continue to grow, and we build around them, and then our offense can succeed. So yes, for sure. Sure. You?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm okay with the mistakes because there's in this type style of offense, when you're dealing with a gunslinger, Brett Favre's thrown interceptions, Ben Roethlisberger's thrown interceptions, Phillip Rivers thrown interceptions. When you have gunslingers like this, they're going to throw INTs. And I know, and once he throws one or two, the headline is he a bust, type stuff, right? But that's the risk and the risk and the reward that you get. Like you said, we got a long way to go. I'm giving this team about 2 more years to where they can build and bring in more talent and everything like that. I'm telling you, by 2027, when that new stadium's there, this team should be locked and loaded. There shouldn't be no excuses at that point. But right now, I'm okay with what we have. I know we're building, and I know we're going to continue to build. And I think I'm most excited, not just about the pushing the ball downfield, but the O-line. If the O-line can stay healthy, man, we're going to be solid. We're going to be okay. And at that point, then it's easy to upgrade your skill positions when you fix the 2 problems on your team, the trenches and your quarterback. Once that happens, everything else will fall into place. Look at the Commanders. The Commanders is the same way. Everything else fell into play. Now everybody want to go play for the Commanders. Like just stuff like that. Yeah. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. Shout out to Nipsey.
Yeah. That's true, man. That's true, man. That's true. So yeah. Do you have any surprise players on this team? If there's one guy that could be a long shot in making the team, that might make the team, is there anyone you can think of that you think could make this team a long shot?
Mims. I like what I saw from Mims today, the running back. I love what I saw from him, especially with Tyjae Spears being hurt. I know they can't carry 5 running backs. I think they'll probably carry 3. But Mullins too. Mullins he's drafted, but Mims really, I like what I'm seeing out of Mims.
Gotcha.
And how he ran today, and just how he has that Tyjae Spears style, but at the same time he's a change of pace, if that makes sense, right? We got TP and then you got Mims, then you got Mullins. Mullins runs pretty nice too, but
Yeah.
Mims has a shot. Will it happen? I don't know. How well can he play special teams? I don't know. Chestnut has been killing it. That's why Chestnut is still here, because he plays special teams.
Right.
What about you?
Man, I'm gonna say, man, Gabe Julie Galley, that guy. He had a heck of a game today, man.
Yeah.
He had 2 tackles for losses as a corner nickel, and I think he had a sack to them. He was all over the field, and he's been playing aggressive even when I seen him in practice. I was like, this guy's aggressive, and the defensive backfield at safety is probably sold up. They probably have to say we have a very good our safety room is actually the strength of our team is our safety room. But I think he could possibly play nickel, and he could play special teams. And he's undrafted, out of the University of Tennessee. I think he has an opportunity to make this team. I do, and I think it's just been here recently. He's still out on the field. He plays a lot. They have him blitzing a lot. He plays a kind of like a honey badger type of defense. You know what I'm saying? At his position, kind of like how
Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, like Matthew, but I'm thinking of Molden. You know what I'm saying?
Molden,
you know what I'm saying? A guy that's kind of a safety corner hybrid type of guy. Yeah. I was very, very impressed with what I saw today. Very aggressive out there today.
Right. Shout out to the Titans defense for getting a turnover and taking an interception to the house.
That's right, man. That's facts. That's facts.
When is the last time we seen that?
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts, man. Shout out. It was Brooks. Yeah, shout out to Brooks. Shout out to Brooks. Yep. Shout out to Brooks.
I like what I see from Marcus Harris too, the California kid.
Yeah, me too.
Out of 6th rounder.
Me too, man.
He's pretty solid. That cornerback room, specifically corner, we're a little thin. So
we are, bro.
Yeah, that concerns me. I ain't gonna lie.
It does. Me too. That intermediate stuff in the middle, them crossing routes,
they were kicking our butt.
Yeah,
they were kicking our butt. Yeah.
For real, man. For real.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Yep. So let's talk about a concern that we've had, and I spoke on this even on the last show about our backup quarterback situation. And you and I have had some conversation about that as well. Brandon Allen had a pretty decent game today. He had a touchdown today, did have an interception. QB rating was pretty, I think it's like 110 or something like that. A pretty good day today, actually. And even when I seen him in practice, compared to Boyle, I'll say, man, Brandon Allen's far better than him. Like literally he clearly throws the ball down the field and those things. But how do you feel about QB2 right now? Are you comfortable with Brandon Allen being quarterback 2 when the season starts?
No, I can actually throw a name out there that I would love to see come to the Titans. And shout out to my boy Chris. Is Jameis Winston. We need a veteran presence in that room that's proven, that's won some games, that has some success, that can mentor Cam. Cam needs mentoring, but Cam's so mature, like he's okay. But at the same time, I'm not comfortable with Brandon Allen, because if Cam goes down, then what, right? We're back at square one. No, I'm not. I'm not comfortable at all. And even though he had a quote-unquote good game, Callahan trusts him, and he knows Callahan's offense. But at the same time, man, for a backup role, no, I'm good. What about you?
Yeah. I think we need to. I think of anything, man, I would like to bring in somebody to compete for QB2. And I know you spoke on Jameis Winston. That would be my pick too. But I would also say Kenny Pickett. I think the Browns, I think they have some decisions to make. They got 4 quarterbacks, and I don't think they're going to carry 4. And and it was crazy. All of them are hurt. That's what's crazy. But somebody that can play QB2 just in case something happens to Cam Ward. Because if something does happen to Cam Ward, we're done. We're not winning any football games. I'm gonna tell you that right now. How many games he's out, we're probably gonna lose every game. So if we can get somebody here at QB2 that's serviceable, that can at least be a game manager and not throw a lot of interceptions and those things, we need help at QB2. Now, I give Brandon Allen credit. He did better this game than he did the last game. He stepped up and he put himself in a situation to say, I could be QB2. He has, so I would just say, man, QB2 is definitely, I still think is a big concern for us right now, for sure. Yep.
Right. And the thing about Cam, he's durable, but like you said, if in case he goes down, that's the thing.
Right. Because it can happen to anybody, right? Yep. Injuries happen in the NFL. It will happen at some point for any player. You'll knick-knacks or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's just best to have precaution. Can't get hurt. Anybody can, you know what I'm saying? And if it does, then we got to have somebody out there, man. And right now, I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So
Yeah.
cool, man. Okay. All right. Well, listen, folks, we want to say thank you all for tuning in to the show here on Bleacher Report, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in to Titans Daily, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, look, we're here all season, man. Hey, continue to check our content. If you have not followed us, follow me at Lorenzo _ the Hawk. Follow my boy Jacques as well at Jacques Merrill, man. We got content coming through, man, at all times, man. We're out there, bro. Check us out. We're out there, man. Bleacher Report for sure.
Yes, sir. And appreciate y'all watching the show and participation, man. It really counts and it goes a long way. Of course, we're going to continue to bring y'all content. And again, hey, tighten up. Let's get to Minnesota and let's keep improving, man, as a team. And hey, Hawk, take us home, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we hope y'all have a great rest of your day, man. And we will see y'all on the next. We'll see y'all on Monday, and we'll see y'all all week. And then we'll be doing a show for sure with Minnesota. So, as we always say around here, folks, tighten up.
Yes, sir.